Every single day, you swipe, tap, and scroll through thousands of glowing rectangles. It is a relentless, overwhelming flood of notifications, images, and text designed to command your attention. To survive this daily deluge, your brain adapts. It deploys a psychological filter known as interface blindness, actively tuning out the structural menus, borders, and buttons so you can focus entirely on the content itself. But watch what happens when we strip away the photos, the videos, and the endless scroll. We are left with a single, easily ignored string of text lingering at the very bottom of your screen. Instagram login, sign up, copyright 2026, Instagram from Meta. This sequence functions as a technical specification, despite appearing to be a simple piece of graphic design left over by the developers. These 9 words constitute a tightly compressed machine, encoding legal boundaries and behavioral instructions directly into the interface. Digital power is often most effective in these mundane, overlooked corners of the screen, operating without the need for visual fanfare. Let's break this machinery down, starting with the first active segment of the text: log in, sign up. This logic gate requires a specific input to produce an output. It functions as an absolute barrier separating the public web from the private ecosystem. Choosing login commands the system to locate your pre-existing data profile and activate it. Choosing sign up requires surrendering fresh personal data to construct a brand new database node in exchange for entry. Notice how these prompts are shoved together without spaces or punctuation. Designers intentionally strip out the visual friction, smoothing the language down to its bare minimum so your brain processes the command instantly. Until you successfully meet the specific gateway condition, the network you are trying to reach essentially does not exist for you. Once inside the gate, the terms of engagement shift. That brings us to the middle of the text string, copyright 2026. That tiny C inside a circle carries immense legal weight, a strict, non-negotiable assertion of intellectual property rights over the digital interface you're touching. This timeline illustrates a software codebase's evolution. The year 2026 acts as a temporal anchor, isolating the precise version of the software. By staking a claim on that specific point in time, the company legally seals the code, creating a definitive boundary that prevents competitors from cloning the platform. Beneath that single character sits billions of lines of code, sprawling server architectures, and deeply trained algorithmic models. This state operates as a heavily fortified wall surrounding a highly lucrative digital territory, which leads directly to the final piece of the artifact, Instagram from Meta. Throughout your entire session, the app appears self-contained. But at the very edge, the primary brand is subjugated. This organizational chart maps corporate hierarchy. Meta is positioned as a massive umbrella node, with Instagram tethered beneath it as a subordinate branch. The word "from" acts as a directional watermark. It dictates that the value generated by your attention flows one way, upward, out of the subordinate app, and directly into the parent conglomerate servers. While the interface presents a standalone community, it operates as a specialized data sensor for a larger corporate entity. Those 3 final words strip away the illusion of independence. They identify the corporate sovereign dictating the rules of the platform you are locked inside. Now, let's reassemble those 3 separate pieces back into the single string of text. Just a few minutes ago, this text registered as background noise, something your brain was trained to scroll past. But looking closely reveals a behavioral gateway, a fortified legal boundary, and a declaration of sovereignty, all compressed into 9 words. This arrangement, the entry gate, the legal anchor, and the corporate watermark, is a standardized blueprint for digital ownership. To understand who controls the digital environments you live in, you have to stop looking at the content and start reading the architecture.